Hello guys, and welcome back to another edition of Thailand Adventures with Dan. Today guys, we're going to be answering your questions. Okay guys, I did a video a few days back, Thailand things you may not know. And in that video I told you about a tattoo that a lot of Thai women have, normally on the shoulder here. And it's like of a tiger claw, and it'll have writing on the stripes. And it's black magic. A lot of Thai women have it done for wealth and to catch a man, make a man fall in love with them. Now, Seafood Monster said, about the stripe tattoo, I saw a girl with a butterfly on her neck. What the heck does that symbolize? So when I said this, it was quite funny because the butterfly is a very known term used here in Thailand, and you'll hear, if you spend enough time in Thailand, Thai women saying to you, are you a butterfly? A butterfly means you flap your wings from woman to woman to woman to woman. So if a girl has a butterfly on her neck, it probably means that she flaps her wings and goes from man to man to man. But that's not guaranteed, guys. She might just like butterflies. Okay, guys, another question come in from MagicMars. Said the food that I posted on my YouTube channel yesterday looked delicious, and it must be some traditional Thai food. Any suggestions trying a few traditional Thai foods minus the pork and bugs? Okay, well, the first thing you need to know is that pork is the preferred meat for Thai people. So when you go around for the street food, you'll find a hell of a lot of pork sticks, pork dishes, etc. But they do dishes in chicken, beef, and other stuff as well, other crazy stuff you might find. But I prefer the somtam, papaya salad. I love it. I can eat it spicy. Lab tod, which are like meatballs. Lab moo, pad krapao, and the big chunky sausages that a guy sells not too far from here, but I never know when he's going to be there. He's an old guy and he just pops up from time to time, but his sausages are absolutely delicious. I think they're around about 5 baht a sausage, big chunky sausage, and he gives you some chilies with it and a bit of cabbage. And if you mix it together while you're eating the sausage, aroy mac, absolutely stunning. There's loads of Thai street food. It's extremely cheap, and you'll find that most Thai people eat out every day, eating street food, because it's a lot cheaper than doing a food shop. So it's totally opposite to back home. Okay, we had a question sent in from TJ Vaara, and it's in regards to visas, which I tend to not get involved with because there's so much information. If you just simply do a Google search or you jump on YouTube, there's so many videos, TJ, that can really help you out with this. But what I can say is that, like for a retirement visa, for example, you don't just have to have the 800,000 baht in your bank account. You can actually have the equivalent of that as money that's coming in each and every month over the 12-month period. And it's the same kind of thing for a marriage visa or a dependence visa, apart from that's 400,000 baht per year, or just the equivalent of the money that you're bringing in that equates to 400,000 over a 12-month period. Now, if you don't have that money to put into a Thai bank, the 800,000 or the 400,000, and you're not making the equivalent of that money each and every month with your pension or with your job over the 12-month period, then there are ways, guys. This is Thailand, TIT. There are ways that you can fix this for yourself. It will cost you a little bit, but there are ways, guys. You'll have to message me for that one. I can't broadcast that out on YouTube. Okay, one of our female subscribers, guys, we do have some, not many, but Cherry Pink asked if the Buriram airport was international. Now, Buriram Airport is a small domestic airport located in the Sachuek district in Buriram, Thailand. It is served by two airlines, Nok Air and Thai Air Asia, linking passengers daily to Don Muang Airport in Bangkok. Okay, the next question is from Peter Carrington, who's from my neck of the woods back in the UK. How about something about a social life in the area? Okay, now, it's very difficult for me to do an actual video on this because it's very limited to what you can do. Now, for instance, for your social life in Buriram, where I'm situated, you've got the local bars, sports bars, etc. around in the city centre. They'll have the motorbike racing on, the football, all the stuff that you need. It's on all the time in the bars. There's other foreigners that you can meet up with there, people that are just coming in for a short time visit, and a lot of expats that live here long term also. You also have the Buriram United Football Club, which is extremely popular here in the city of Buriram. You also have the Raceway Speed Track for the motorbike racing. So there's fairly frequent events that are happening there. And I also know that there's a bar in Buriram that hosts like a motorbike meet-up point where everyone meets up on the motorbikes and they'll go around, stay somewhere overnight, travel to Konken, for example, stop off at a few stopping points on the way, just have a little mini adventure, and they normally do that every couple of weeks. So there are things that you can do to keep yourself busy, but I would say make sure you've got your own hobbies and interests when you're living, especially in rural Thailand, because it can get a bit boring. So it's not for everybody. You need to be like a quite chilled out, relaxed person, easygoing, not really the party guy, to live in a place in rural Thailand. Another lady subscriber, guys, called Beck. She was asking, how can I travel in and out of the province if you need to fly internationally? As I stated before, Beck, there are no international airports around here. They're all domestic flights only. It's a lot cheaper just to get a bus, a coach, and use that in order to travel around. You can get yourself a private car, like a taxi, but it will cost you a lot more. But still, it's cheaper than flying. Rural Thailand, unfortunately, doesn't have any international travelling, so your best bet is the bus. It's extremely cheap. Okay, this is not so much of a question, but I really enjoyed this one. This is from Raymond Webb, one of our subscribers. Have to be honest, mate, all the rest of these on YouTube are full of crap. At least you're honest about it. Now, I particularly like to read stuff like this because it's the whole reason why I made the channel. A lot of Thailand vloggers, you have to understand and appreciate that they rely on the money from YouTube to be able to pay for the hotels, their accommodation, to be able to travel around, or just to exist in Thailand. It's difficult to have a job and make money and stay here unless you work online like I do. So a lot of these Thailand vloggers will just try to show you positive stuff, take you around to places and give the general public what they're looking for. And if you jump online and you see the most popular videos on the internet, you'll see that it's all about half-naked girls, clickbait thumbnails with boobs popping out. The popular YouTubers in Thailand tend to be the ones with a bar girl style type girlfriend that walks around with her boobs out in a swimming costume, and they tend to be the ones that are generating the most views. And that's not the approach that I wanted to go down. You know, in any of my videos, I won't dress my wife up and showcase her on the video just to get views and subscribers. I didn't make this channel to get rich or to make money. It was just a hobby, really, an interest. And I was so annoyed with watching all these different YouTubers not telling people the truth, not giving them factual information, not giving any proper decent advice, that I decided, yeah, I'm not the oracle, you know, you don't have to listen to me, but I've always analysed people my whole life and the environment I'm in, and I've really studied hard since I've been in Thailand. I've made mistakes like everybody else has. We always will. It's going to be difficult for anybody to come to Thailand and live here flawlessly and not make any mistakes, especially in 2022. Maybe in the past you might have been able to do it 10, 20 years ago, but Thailand's a whole different animal now. Okay, another one, a bit of a statement, not so much as a question, from Chris Miles. I have never felt unsafe in Thailand, but I have seen plenty of fights and scuffles between guys, girls and ladyboys. It's really good advice you gave about not getting involved. Just walk away from the situation before things get ugly and the police get involved. Okay guys, so I did a video about the dangers travelling around in Thailand, and one of the points I really wanted to put across is when you come to Thailand, don't get involved in any arguments or scuffles or fights. It's just not worth it. You don't need ego in Thailand. Every single woman, you know, gonna love you long time anyway. Sexy man, handsome man, law mac mac. Yeah, you're gonna get all that. You can leave your ego back home. So don't allow your ego to get into any kind of altercation with someone here in Thailand. And if people are arguing and stuff, just try not to get involved, even though it might be in your nature to try to help or try to break up an argument. But I've seen on many occasions when people do this, it ends up being them that get hurt and everybody else walks away absolutely fine. Okay guys, this is an interesting comment from the video. Is your Thai girlfriend wife cheating on you in Thailand? And this was from Justin Roantree. I have lived in Thailand, same as you. I had a great girlfriend in Bangkok with a great job. Then I married a beautiful lady, but didn't know she was a bar girl. I need now to get a divorce. I give up on Thailand. Too many scammers, too many lies. Now, I wasn't sure what he meant by this, so I replied back and I basically said, Justin, you was with a really nice girl. She had her own job. She was in Bangkok, but then you left her for a much more beautiful lady and then got married and then found out she was a bar girl. So he's replied, Justin said, hi Dan, yes, I married her in Ampere office in 2008. She also comes from Isan. To be honest, I ignored the warning signs, head in the sand. I now need to get copy of my marriage certificate to divorce her. Shame. I love Thailand, such a beautiful country, but just too many scammers. Was going to retire there, but not now. I have an army pension and looking at South America. Now guys, with this certain situation, and it happens all over the world, men can get bored with the current girlfriend or the current wife, see a much more beautiful, attractive, sexy other woman that might show interest to them, and then it can easily get hooked. And it sounds like this is a bit of a similar situation with Justin. He said he had his blinkers on, head in the sand, didn't read the warning signs. And because of this situation, and because he found out she was a bar girl, he didn't go into any more kind of detail about what's happened, how he found out, etc. But it's a lesson learned. I wouldn't say leave Thailand because of this one situation, because as you've already admitted, it was kind of your fault. You put your head in the sand. You didn't listen to the warning signs because you was obviously smitten by this woman. Might have been fell deeply in love. You know, you married her. But I wouldn't say for this to put you off Thailand and to go and retire somewhere else. I would say this is a very, very big lesson learned. Beauty is not always the important thing. Beauty gets boring after a while. Once you've been with a woman for quite a bit, she becomes a normal human being, not just something beautiful or a trophy wife. She has a personality. has different quirks, what she likes to talk about, etc. You know the score, guys. There's no point teaching you this. So yeah, it just gives you a lot more to think about here, Justin, in the future. But I wouldn't say give up on Thailand just yet. You'll have come a lot more wise now, and hopefully your next partner, wherever she is in the world, will be the right choice. Okay guys, this next comment comes from the video Don't Date a Bar Girl, my true story, which was a bit of a crazy story to tell the world, but I did do. So this is from Happy Slave. You're dealing with damaged goods 99.9% of the time. More expensive to repair than worth after the repair. But I did find that 0.1%, and we've been married for 15 years. Now I get many comments like this, guys, where people are telling me, yeah, most people are bad here in Thailand, most women are bad here in Thailand, but they've been lucky, they've been married 10, 15, 25, 35 years, and everything has worked out perfectly. So it's nice to get to know from people such as Happy Slave that they have a happy story, and 15-year relationship and marriage doesn't lie, guys. So like with anything, there's always a diamond in the rough. You just got to have your wits about you, be smart, be careful, take things slow, and you can find the diamond in the rough, guys. So don't give up, just be a bit more careful. There are good ones out there. No matter how many negative comments we get on the channel about Thai women, there are some good ones. Okay guys, this next comment comes from the video Dating a Thai Woman, Top Tips and Tricks, Thailand Advice. This is from one of our subscribers, Clifford Baptiste. Hi Dan, your answers are spot on. I've been going to Thailand for 19 years and I'm quite clued up regarding Thai ladies. But 10 years ago, I met a girl in Phuket. Yes, at a bar. She had only been there for 5 weeks, which I verified, and I just knew it was not for her by the way she was behaving. I've known a few bar girls, he says. Anyway, just to cut a long story short, I paid for her to go back to her family in Callison, sent her £300 per month to live on with her family, mother and 2 children. Not a lot, I know, but it got her out of the bar scene. Anyway, after 2 years of seeing her 3 times a year, 3 weeks at a time, I ended up marrying her, taking her back to the UK. I got her a job, we built a house in Thailand, we got a car, motorbikes for her children, and I was still giving her £300 per month for her to send to her family, as well as what she was sending back home from her salary. We were getting on great with plans to move to Thailand in January 2024. But then bang, COVID happened and my business went downhill and I could no longer give her the £300 per month for her family, even though she was getting furlough money from her job and could send enough money back to take care of her family. Next thing I know, she is seeing someone else she had known from work. That's normally where it happens. And he started giving her money for her family. And that was the end of me. So after 10 years of knowing her and 8 years of marriage, quite happily I must say, when my money finished, so did the marriage. And guys, I own my own house in the UK. And of course, she is now going after a cut of that in the divorce settlement. So please be very wary of even the genuine girls that you meet out there, because once the money disappears, so do they. By the way, I'm not bitter or angry at what she did. I'm only angry with the UK legal system that would award her up to 50% of my assets, which I bought with my late first wife 35 years ago. So I repeat, guys, be very careful with whatever you tell her you have. And if you intend to marry her and live in Thailand, just have a village marriage and not an ampere marriage. And like gambling, only spend what you can afford to lose. Firstly, Clifford, I would like to say a big thank you for being super honest, showing the what and all in regard to your story, and it's much appreciated. It's just started raining here again. We had a nice day yesterday, but it's gone bad again. Rain every single day. If you're coming on holiday in the next week or two, guys, just expect rain, because I don't think it's going to stop. Anyway, back to Clifford. The big warning sign for me, Clifford, in this story is the £300 that he was constantly giving her, which was like, in effect, paying her to stay with you. That should have been cut pretty fast. And the money, when she got a job, if you didn't want to cut it beforehand, you should have cut it when she had a job, so she could support her own family. At the end of the day, you brought her back to England. You give her opportunities that she never had here in Thailand, because the salary is so low, which is really bad. And it's a big story I want to talk about on the channel, but I'm a bit wary about discussing it, because I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble, because I understand how the whole system works here in Thailand. But that was a massive red flag, Clifford, the £300. And like you said, as soon as that stopped, that was it. It was game over. She's socialising at work. She found another guy that's willing to foot that bill. And at the end of the day, it's very sad to say, but it seems like that was her main goal, was to get that money to send to her family. It's money that they've been getting frequently and rely on. So if that was to stop, she would get major problems. The family's mother and father, etc., can be very harsh when it comes to money. And if she's also sending her own money back home, she may have debts, gambling debts, other problems that you don't know about. So it just seems that for so long, that money was her ultimate goal. And I'm very sorry to hear about your story, and just hope you can pick yourself up, dust yourself off, Clifford, and move forward, and hopefully you'll find a good one in the future, mate. Okay guys, that's it for the questions and comments. Keep commenting, send your stories in, guys. I mean, there's not that many stories that have been flying into my inbox. Details are in the description of this video. So if you've got a good story, a long story that you want to share with the group, if you want to stay anonymous, then just let me know and I'll stick it as anonymous. If you don't want your name to be read out loud or a picture shown, that's absolutely fine, guys. But send those stories in and they could feature on the channel. So this has been Thailand Adventures with Dan. Hope you enjoyed this segment, and I'll see you on the next one. Oosh.